Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Andi Musyahidah with ID number 021. I'm from PBIA Class A, and here I will tell you about the casual conversation and the transactional speaking. First, about casual conversation. So, casual conversation is a type of conversations that happen in our daily life or can also means that every conversation that occurs outside the classroom. So the conversations carried out by the speakers in this type of conversations, they look intimate when they talk to each other, and there is also a social interactions between the speakers. This type of conversations also can occur naturally everywhere or anywhere. There are 7 characteristics of this conversation stated by Richard, namely, first, opening and closing conversations. Opening conversations, for example, like hello, good morning, how are you? And the closing conversation, such as goodbye, see you later, see you next time, and many others. The second is choosing topics. It means that the speakers in this type of conversations, they are not focused only on one topic, but they talk about a variety of topics. And next, making small talks. Small talks means that something that is conveyed that doesn't focus on the real things. These things only we do these things for the aim of strengthening the social relationship between the speakers. And then joking. This indicate the speakers when they talk to each other, when they make a joke to each other, it indicates that they have a close social relationship. And then recounting personal incidents and experience. The conversation that occurs in casual conversations, sometimes they talk about the events that already happening or in the past. And then employing turn taking. It means that in interacting, the speakers should be active each others equally. They both should provide initiations and response, not just only one person, but every person who include in the conversations. And the last is using agency pairs, namely using a certain expressions that already have a definite answer or response. For example, like thank you, you're welcome, or I'm sorry and don't worry. And for the discourse sequence, it's same with the classroom conversations. The casual conversation and classroom conversation have a same discourse sequence, namely IRF. The I means initiations, R is response, and F is feedback. But the difference is in casual conversations, there is the different things with the classroom conversations. Namely is its functions. In casual conversations, the response also can become the initiations too. Okay, next is about the transactional speaking. So the transactional speaking is the process of exchanging a message or information in conversations, for example, such as discussion, debate, or interview, and many others, etc. There are 6 characteristics of transactional speaking. The first is it functions to exchange information, namely the informations such as data, facts, or some theories. And then it is message oriented, which means to communicate meaning of the message. And the third is participants use strategies, understand each other's. It means that every participant use a certain strategies to make others understand what they want to say. They use every strategies to make others agree with what they said. And next is it needs more questions, repetitions, to check the comprehension of the listener. And next is ideas negotiation normally occurs in this type of conversation speaking. Sometimes there is a negotiation that happens. And the last is language accuracy. Language accuracy is not always important in this type of conversation because in speakings we don't always focus on the grammar or the form of the language, but also we look at their culture and the function of the language. To see the discourse sequence in transactional speakings, we can look at the president debate that happened between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump in 2016, hosted by Lester Holt. In this debate, we can see that the discourse patterns, namely ERF, ER, initiation, response, and then feedbacks, and then initiation again and response. In each patterns, there is a generic structures, and also in generic structures, it also contains several functions. So we can see from the debate, the discourse patterns for initiations, the generic structures is opening, and then introducing the participants, structuring debate organizations, welcoming the candidates, introducing topics, and inviting the argument. For the functions, the opening, the function is greeting, introducing, and stating the initiations. For the response, the generic structures, namely opening, overviewing the topic, stating the solutions, and giving recommendations. And then the follow-up, the generic structures, namely expressing the gratitude. And then the initiations again, inviting the arguments, and then response, namely opening, overviewing topic, stating solutions, and giving recommendations. I think that's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.